Let's talk about this today. I have experience on both sides, and I want to be able to share my experience with you. I worked in HR for many years, so I had a horrible task of sometimes letting people go. And anybody who's watching this, who's ever done that, or who's ever worked in HR particularly, who's had to do that, I mean, you know what I mean. It's a part of the job that you dislike the most. It feels horrible to tell someone that, you know, they no longer need to come to the office and their sole source of livelihood is over. However, I'd also like to highlight an important point. I have been on the other side. I have been fired on more than one occasion due to company restructuring and pure economic reasons, you know, and then last in, first out. It was easy, and I was the target for that. So I want to share 4 tips that helped me on both sides, and I think this would definitely help you, or you know, if you know someone who's going through this. So please do share this video. Tip number 1 is the most important, and I want to reiterate it. It is not your fault. If you've just lost your job and you're feeling terrible and they told you the performance was not up to the mark, it is not your fault. It's like a square, a circle and a square. They just didn't fit. You didn't fit in the company. Is the square better than the circle? No, they're not right for each other. And you can take it upon good authority. I know what I'm talking about. I've let dozens of people go in my career. However, I followed their career after they left us in the different companies, and they did pretty well. In fact, one could argue that they did even better than they did before. So how is that? It's not like there was something wrong with them. It just wasn't the right fit. And another thing I want to say when it comes to it's not your fault is, please also do not discount the role of the manager who hired you. At the time they hired you, they thought you were the right fit, and then suddenly, you know, it turns out, whether it's in a year or 2 years or whatever, that you're not. It's their responsibility as well, and a lot of managers do not want to talk about this, and they shirk it and they say it's you know, the employee, and that's it. That's not true. All right. And there could also be something going on under the hood that you don't know about. There could be politics. You know, maybe you were a threat to your manager. Maybe you were a threat to the management. Who knows really? But it's not your fault. The second thing I want to talk about is you need to take the time to heal, really recover from this. It can be very traumatic for some people. And people heal and grieve in different ways. Some people want to vent with their close family and friends, and I highly suggest you do that. Let it out. Don't let it stay in and, you know, grow an ulcer with it. For some people, it's Netflix binging. For some people, it's taking gallons of chocolates for weeks at a time. I'm not saying do some self-harm, but, you know, take the time that you need. And if you don't do that, and if you jump back in, because many people will tell you, no, move it, it's time to apply, snap out of it, you know, you're too much of a pity party going on. And if you listen to them, and if you don't listen to your own mind and your heart telling you it's not, you know, you're not ready and it's not time, what will happen is, when you go for these interviews, that bitterness which is there deep down will come out, and you'll end up bad-mouthing your manager or the company, and trust me, we don't want that for you. The third thing that I think will help is, let's start talking about it, okay? There is a stigma, there is a shame, I don't know why, associated with being fired. And the more we will talk about it, it will feel less shameful and, you know, less some sort of taboo topic. Because like I said, if it's not your fault, then what's wrong with, you know, why hide it? I'm not saying go out on social media and, you know, beat drums and say, hey, I just got fired, woo! But at the same time, what I'm saying is, when you have, you know, the chance to go for another interview, talk about it. It's not a big deal. I mean, you don't have to hide it or say it was a mutual decision, and, you know, like, don't make up stories. It is what it is. So just might as well face it. And the last topic that I want to talk about related to being fired is learning from the experience. I did say, you know, yes, you know, heal and all of that stuff, but learn. There may have been triggers that were there during the course of your employment that something didn't feel right. It could have been maybe at the hiring stage where you were like, you know, I'm not sure it's the right fit, but you went ahead and anyway because you needed a job. or during the course of your employment. Learn from those experiences, learn how it made you feel, learn how you reacted to those experiences or triggers, because you learn heck of a lot about yourself. So that's about it. So these are the 4 tips that I wanted to share. It's not your fault. I can't reiterate that enough. And take the time that you need to heal. Talk about it. There's no shame in it. And finally, learn from it. And when you do learn from it, move on and restart the entire process. Make your job application, your resume. See how you can incorporate this experience into your resume. And if you need help with your resume, get in touch with someone who's an expert in this topic, maybe even me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and see you next time. Bye for now.